Guys, so today I'm doing a video on something that's really been super intense and important for me in the past few weeks. Also, I just want to say before I start this video, I had such an awful migraine yesterday and I took some medicine and I went to bed really early, but then I woke up and I woke up again, and basically I woke up this morning at 11, which is not so long ago. That's why I'm a bit slow. Also, my skin is fucking breaking out. It is awful. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so today I want to talk about the internship that I'm doing. So in case you guys didn't know, I am studying literature and I'm studying linguistics. I'm doing 2 master degrees, and the linguistic degree is actually a bit specific. It is French as a foreign language, which means I'm basically being taught how to teach French for foreigners. And in that master degree, I was required to do an internship. First of all, I just want to say I've been getting a lot of questions regarding anxiety and my internship. I was really anxious when I discovered that I was going to do an internship because I had never really done one, because I was wondering whether I could do it or not. Because of my anxiety, I didn't know which one I would find. Would I get along with the people that were working there? Would I be a good teacher? I was at a point in my life about 3 years ago, where my anxiety was awful. It was really bad. It was really preventing me from just having a normal daily life. I could not really go out. I could not take the public transport. I could not go to school. I could not make phone calls. I could not really enter shops. I had panic attacks very frequently. That was just a very different level of anxiety compared to the one I have now. It's not just that I don't have any anxiety left, but I'm not anxious anymore when I go to school. I'm not anxious to do the internship. I feel much more comfortable. It depends on my mood, depends on my physical also state as well. It depends on so many different things, but just to put it simply, after 2 years, at least 2 years of therapy, I am feeling much better. That being said, I found the internship and I'm now working with young migrants. I'm working with the Red Cross actually, and so I am in the sort of emergency center when young people arrive very frequently, also leave very frequently, and we are here to teach them French basically. Very young, from 15 years old to 18 years old, so they're like teenagers, but they're not so far away from me age-wise. At least that's how I feel, which makes it even harder to not, get emotionally involved, I suppose. I love teaching. First of all, I want to say this is an amazing experience for me. I've been tweeting about it quite a bit because I always sort of knew I wanted to be a teacher. I always thought I wanted to be either a teacher or a psychologist. I've always felt like, despite my anxiety, despite being someone that's naturally anxious, despite many different things, I have always felt like I wanted to be a teacher. When you have anxiety and when you at some point cannot even go to school anymore, and when you're someone that's quite, I'm an introvert, and when you have all those things and you want to be a teacher, sometimes you're like, do I really want to be a teacher? Is it just a fantasy of mine? Because I might not be able to teach, I might not be able to stand in front of a whole class, I might not be able to answer questions. And to see that I can teach is amazing. So I'm obviously not perfect. I am just starting. I really need to learn so much. I need to improve so much. I am standing alone in front of up to 21 kids that are quite young, that have a lot of energy, that don't speak the same language, that sometimes don't speak French at all, and I have to deal with that, and I deal with it, and I love it, and they appreciate it as well. They seem to really enjoy it. And that's just amazing. I've had many of them come and thank me after class. I've had one of them be like, hey, I'm sorry, how do you say teach in French? So I gave her the answer, and she was like, you teach very well. They asked me when I'm gonna come back and all that kind of stuff. There are a few difficulties in that internship. The first one is that those kids come from different countries and have very different levels of French. You have some that comes from India, Pakistan, the north of Africa, or Africa. I have one kid that comes from Albania actually, but that one is just really good. Some I've never fuck, what's that? Some have never been to school at all. Some cannot read, cannot write. French is a very specific language, and a few sounds in French are not to be found in other languages, especially if you're, for example, the Egyptian kids that I have, teenagers, have really, really big issues pronouncing French because so many sounds are not present in the Egyptian language, the dialect or whatever. The trickiest part for me is to know their situation. So obviously these kids are migrants. They don't have any family here. They came on their own. Sometimes they fled from their countries because of awful situations. Like they're just away from home, you know, and they're so young. Okay, wait. And to know that is already in itself very difficult, and it's always strange to say I love this internship because I'm like, yeah, I love it, but I wish I didn't have to do it. I wish I could live in a world where this does not exist because people don't have to flee from their home country. So yesterday I really got too emotional and I had such a shitty day. I wouldn't say a shitty day, but I had class and it went very well. Two teenagers are from India and they don't speak French at all, having been in France for like 4 or 5 months. And so the thing is, because where I work is an emergency center, they are often dispatched and sent in other sort of centers. And so one of them realized that I was speaking quite good English and he was really happy and thrilled about that. And so we were speaking in English all the time to me. I was like, you're supposed to speak in French, but you know, we were translating and stuff. And he really opened up to me because he's gonna leave on Tuesday. He's gonna be sent away to another city. He was like, I'm gonna be sent there. Do you know if it's a good place? Do you know if it's a good city? I will be alone. I won't have any friends there. And he was not complaining, you know, but I could feel that he was somehow anxious about it. And that really just got to me so much. I was like, in France, I mean in Paris at least, there is an Indian neighborhood and he has some Indian friends now. He came all the way to France. He made friends here. He kind of got used to being here, having those lessons, and now he's going to be sent to another place, totally foreign, and maybe he's going to be sad there, maybe he's going to be lonely, maybe he's going to miss Paris, maybe he's going to leave the center. I don't know. I just went into this spiral of thinking and overthinking, and when I left the center I was in the metro with him, so I told him to sit next to me and we talked about India. And he was like, do you know India? Do you know Indian music? So I sang a bit of an Indian song that I know. And he was so happy. And that just made me think of something I think about all the time, which is that some cultures and some countries are just so underrated and so ignored and despised and looked down on for no fucking good reason. And I'm getting so... I'm a very, very emotional person. I'm a very sensitive person. It might not show all the time online because it's online, because I talk about serious stuff, because I sort of have to defend myself sometimes from, you know, trolls or people just ignoring and annoying. But I am such... You know, I just cannot put walls between me and what's happening in the world. That's why I feel so strongly about veganism, because it hurts me physically, morally, emotionally, spiritually. Because I think of those animals all the time. I imagine their sadness, their fear, their pain. I imagine how it must feel to be treated that way, you know. And so... it's the same for everything, you know. I think of Palestine, I think of those homeless people in the streets, I think of children that come to Earth in a war, in a country that's in war. I think of families that are separated. I think of people who feel like no one else thinks of them. And I feel like I have a soft spot apparently for kids and young adults, and I'm getting involved emotionally. I'm super involved emotionally. There is one girl in the class and I don't know why I bonded with her so much. I'm thinking when they're gonna leave, it's gonna be so difficult, and also what are their past possibilities for their future, what are they going to be able to do, what are they going to be offered to do. Why am I so privileged and lucky that I got to do whatever I wanted to? I got to come to Paris, which is the most beautiful city in the world, which is an expensive city. I got to study, I got to fail, and then study again. I got to see a therapist. I have presents and gifts for my birthday and Christmas. I am healthy. I've never known what it feels like to be hungry. I've never known what it feels like to be in danger. Why is it that I have all those things and some people have to flee from their countries? It's not something new. I knew about that before. But there's a difference between knowing and sort of facing it, really. But overall, I just want to say that it's an amazing experience. Those feelings are completely understandable, and I guess because I'm so sensitive, it is so amplified, maybe. But those kids are taken great care of. They're happy, they're smiling, they're getting along together. That's amazing, and I'm pretty sure, I hope for the best for them, and I really think they will achieve happy lives. I really hope so, and I think so. And it's amazing to teach. I love teaching. I definitely want to be a teacher, and I definitely want to be useful. And I just want to say, I guess, that if there's something in life you feel like you want to do, or something you want to fight for, or something you want to participate in, it's definitely something you should do. Act upon it, because more than ever, I really think we're here to be useful. God, life, whatever, put us on earth to be useful. And we should use our time, our energy, our privileges, our life to help others and improve the lives of others. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, guys. I hope this was interesting. I just really needed to chat about that with someone because it's been growing up inside of me. And so yeah, I hope you're doing well, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.